name is Jasmine. Welcome to my YouTube channel, Renewal Rising. Today I'm going to be doing a tarot reading on the new moon in Sagittarius and the solar eclipse that just happened a couple days ago. I know I'm a couple days late, so sorry about that. But this is a reading for the collective, so we're just going to get started. I have this deck here called The Witch's Wisdom Oracle by Barbara Michael Johnfrey and Flavia Kate Peters. And yeah, so this is for the collective, for the new moon in Sagittarius, total eclipse. And eclipse energies also last longer than just a new moon energy where it lasts for like the moon cycle of a month. But the eclipse energies last until the next eclipse period, which is every 6 months. So this new moon has longer lasting effects than most new moons. So we are going to find out the energies for that. Find out what the spirit guides have to say. And sometimes it takes a minute for the messages to come, so thank you for your patience. Hope you're all doing well out there this crazy 2020 time. Hope that you're all able to have just a safe place to be with your families and or your chosen families, and hope that you're all healthy and have your needs met. Okay, there we are. Interesting, I just did a reading for Chiron going direct and we got this card, the Familiar, and the Guardian. And so the message in this card was the leaping into new beginnings. And so the things that are all happening, there's a lot of transits going on in astrology this week. And there probably is a lot of things that are coinciding with each other at the moment. So finding the magic within ourselves, the black cat, the magic, the witch's cat. And finding the magic within ourselves to create the reality we want to create for ourselves, so that when we're ready to just make that leap, that we're ready to just go for it. All right, so the solar eclipse, new moon in Sagittarius, energy for the collective. Quite a few cards there. All right, let's see what we got. Okay, interesting. All right, we are clearing out the old and getting ready for the new. So there's just this huge clearance that's happening. And the grand conjunction that's coming out too, that's going to be pretty big. So there's just this clearance that's happening to make room for all the things that we are getting ready for in our lives that's coming up. And there's the Death card, which is also connected to rebirth as well. So just like this clearance and the removing, the death is kind of like a removal. The clearing is like removing things. And we've also been just processing a lot of grief. And Corona is on the rise here in the U.S. So there is just that energy of death that's kind of been around throughout this year. So that seems to still be an energy that's going to be with us, of just getting rid of the things that no longer serve us. And we are manifesting, bringing in manifestation and remembering that words have a lot of power. When we're in these times and new moons, and new moons are the important times to plant seeds of creating what you want in the world, and writing it down and saying it out loud are really important things to do here, for the manifestation there. So writing out that, and this has a message on it here, so I'm going to read that. In perfect love, in perfect trust, 8 words the wicked read fulfill. On ye harm none, do as ye will, and ever mind the rule of 3. What ye send out comes back to thee. Follow this with mind and heart, and merry ye meet, and merry ye part. So being also the new moon, like what you're putting out is what you're going to be getting. So being really aware of your thoughts and what you want to create, because the manifestation is more potent than it typically is in other times of the cycle, and so knowing that it's going to come back. So we need to be careful about what we really want to create for ourselves. I also have this Energy Oracle deck by Sandra Ann Taylor. So getting some guidance as we move through this new moon in Sagittarius and solar eclipse for the collective. Guidance as we move through this transit. There we are. Okay, and then I'm also going to take the one on the bottom. There. Okay. Okay. So we have here a woman holding a heart. When I just did the Chiron reading, Chiron Growing Direct, there was a lot of goddess energy in that reading as well. And so, and returning to our hearts and doing healing in our hearts and being nurturing and loving with ourselves. And so I'm seeing this as returning to that divine feminine energy, and returning to our hearts and following our hearts as we move forward. And we are going on this journey here, and there's this crossroads right over here. So there's definitely decisions and different pathways we can be making. So as we are manifesting our new reality that we would like to create for ourselves in our new world as we move forward, being aware of what our opportunities are, that things can come up in all sorts of different ways. And there's a lot of different ways to get to where you want to go, but some might be easier or more joyful than others. And so following your heart and following your intuition are going to really help with that. And wherever we're going, it's pretty exciting. So as we have all this death and clearing that's happening, it's also leading us to something that's pretty beautiful and great and quite abundant. So just keep on keeping on, and know that the reality that you're creating is going to lead you to a really beautiful place if you keep following your heart and your intuition. And then we also have Archangel Uriel here in the 7th chakra, which is your crown chakra, connecting you to the higher realms and to the divine and to the creator. And so that's also going to be really important as we move forward, to just keep asking for help from your guides and guardians and your angels and your ancestors. Okay, I also have this deck here, the Oracle of the Fairies by Karen Kay. And I'm very connected with the fairy realm. And so, calling on the fairies for a fairy message from our fairy friends of the new moon in Sagittarius and the solar eclipse. There we are. Wait for winter. During the colder months, the fairy queen of winter will help you manifest your most heartfelt wishes, as long as your intentions are for the highest good of all. There's also this purple here as well. That's connected with that message as well. But so as we go into winter, and even though there's certain things that we're being released from, and kind of like in the last reading I was doing for Chiron Direct, this rebirth in spring that's coming, we actually still are, at least in the northern hemisphere, and entering the winter months and getting into the colder time. So but it's a good time for creating and writing down, what do you want to create for yourself, where are you going to go. So utilizing this winter to our advantage, so that when spring comes next year, we'll be ready to leap and create the magic that we want and go for it. so that we can go into this. Okay, and this is Guardian Angel deck here, and their message, the Guardian Angel message, is gratitude. Thank you. This is a heartfelt thanks to you from someone you recently helped in some way. I, your guardian angel, also wish to thank you for the unconditional love you emanate to the earth, humanity, and those around you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You are eternally blessed. May peace, grace, and love forever guide you along your sacred path. And the thing about the gratitude here, too, just as we're in the holiday season and just had Thanksgiving, the cornucopia here, and then going into the winter months and getting ready for Christmas. And even though we're in quarantine and our gatherings are going to be more limited than they typically are, it's still that time of year where we need to help, and a lot of people need a lot of help. And that's being in that spirit of giving and really being grateful for the things that we do have and helping where we can, because a lot of people really need it. But sometimes even as we're giving, it's nice to know that at least our fairies and our angels are really grateful for us too and the work that we're doing here. And if we help other people, we're receiving that gratitude from above as well. So that is our message for today for the new moon in Sagittarius solar eclipse. Thank you for joining me on Renewal Rising, and I will see you next time, and I wish you all very well.